Have you heard about collecting colostrum before the baby's born? It's called liquid gold. While everyone's talking about the benefits of colostrum, has anyone told you if it's something that you would benefit from? Because it doesn't actually benefit everybody. In this video, I'm going to break down what this liquid gold is, if it's something that you should think about doing, and I'll also share a little bit about my story after having my children, so stick around. So although colostrum seems to be the rave right about now, even the Kardashians are talking about it. I had my first daughter 8 years ago, and it wasn't really something that was discussed with me. Bearing in mind, I've been an obstetrician now for 10 plus years. 8 years ago, when I was becoming a mother, and no one really discussed with me the importance of collecting milk prior to the delivery of the baby. And it wasn't even that long ago. I do remember after one breastfeeding class going home and trying this electric pump that I'd bought. And when we go into this video, you'll know why that's a no-no. But I got no milk and I got discouraged. I was probably about 36 weeks and never tried again. And definitely for my second baby, it was just never brought up in our antenatal care. And looking back, I think about how hard the first few days were with my first baby and how early I needed to use formula with my second baby, and wish that I knew about this liquid gold, as they call it, because it may well have made things slightly easier. Not necessarily, but might have done. I'm Remy, I'm an obstetrics and gynecology doctor. I am a mother of two, and I'm creating content for you to help you during your pregnancy and postpartum period, as well as your transition to motherhood. Not just your physical health, but your mental health and your social health as well. So subscribe to this channel for more helpful tips on how you can thrive through this transitional period of life. If you've just had a baby, there's a guide down below that I want you to click on. It's the red flag that you need to know about to make sure that you go back to hospital early and seek help on time. So colostrum is the first milk that comes out from the breast. So it's a yellow liquidy substance that contains a lot of calories and a lot of antibodies. So all through your life, your body's been fighting off bugs and creating a memory bank of this. And what's found in colostrum is a little bit of that memory being transferred over to the baby. So it's actually really important. And then the concentration of the milk itself is really thick, which means it's quite high in calorie. And I will explain why that's an important point later on. It's designed for a newborn baby's tiny stomach, so they can't hold so much milk. So every ounce or drop of milk they have has to be doing as much work as possible, and that's why it's really concentrated. In some specific situations, colostrum harvesting is really recommended. So when I see women in clinic, definitely in the last few years, it's been more recommended to women, and women who are seeing obstetricians, so women who are slightly higher risk. So the group of women that would benefit from colostrum harvesting, and probably the ones who are told the most about it, are women who've had their pregnancy complicated by gestational diabetes. So what happens is when those babies are born, their sugars tend to go down because sugars have been largely controlled by their mum who had abnormal sugars. And to prevent them having really low sugars, if they were to have the colostrum, it will help stabilize their sugars. So it's really useful for them. It's also useful for babies who we already know are going to be small, women who are having cesarean sections because they might have periods of separation from their baby. And it might mean that having the colostrum at home, bringing it into hospital, means that their baby gets to be fed whilst they're recovering. Babies who might need to go to the intensive care unit. So sometimes what I see in practice is women might have had a rough time in labour, their baby gets admitted to the neonatal unit, and they sometimes feel quite pressured to express milk so their baby could have it, because if their baby's not getting breast milk, then there might be pressure to give the baby donor milk or formula milk, and therefore having that colostrum on hand just gives you a different option. And also babies who might struggle to feed early on, so babies who might struggle to latch, so babies with cleft lip that might not be able to latch properly onto the breast, having that colostrum to hand is really helpful. So this is where I think we need to be realistic. If someone is having a healthy pregnancy and their baby is growing well and they have a vaginal delivery, if they're able to breastfeed straight away after birth, the chances are the baby's going to get all the goodness that colostrum already has. If your baby's already latching on, they're going to get the calories, they're going to get the antibodies, because those things don't just stop the minute your baby's born, they carry on, and those are the benefits of breastfeeding exclusively for 6 months. So for women who might not even need the colostrum, it might not be beneficial for you to have harvested it in the antenatal period. And if I think back to myself, where I was trying to express milk at 36 weeks, because everybody says your milk might start to come in that early, It was actually quite disheartening when it didn't work with the electric pump, but no one had really given me support. No one had told me how to do it. So I never really tried again. But people who might do it properly, like you have to be relaxed, you have to be well fed, watered. If you struggle to get the colostrum out, it can be quite disheartening. It can be a sort of anxiety, even pre-birth, about whether or not breastfeeding is going to go well for you. So there are definitely pros and cons to the harvesting, especially if you don't need it. But if you're one of the groups I've said would need it, then definitely go ahead and do it. With all that being said, if you remember, I mentioned 2 points in which colostrum harvesting is useful. If you get separated from baby, say the baby needs to go to the neonatal unit, or if you end up with a cesarean section whilst you're recovering, it might be quite stressful for you to then think about having to breastfeed the baby straight away. You can't predict that till you've gone through labour. And if we think about health disparities amongst mothers, in Black women, there's a lot of evidence out there that Black women don't breastfeed as long as their counterparts, probably because they don't have support. But they're also the same group that are likely to have complications in labour, complications in delivery, higher rates of cesarean sections. So then those things would tip you into needing colostrum, or at least having the insurance policy of colostrum being available. And so therefore, it's not something that you should just ignore. Do your research, do some more reading, and figure out how you can start collecting colostrum 36 weeks onwards for your baby, in case you need it, in case baby has a poorer outcome, in case you have a poor outcome and you're separated from baby for a long period of time. So you might get to the point in this video, fine, you sold it, I'm into it. How do I actually do it? So remember I said I used an electric pump? The key here is that you want to be doing hand expression. I saw one really helpful video that I'll link down below for you to go and have a look at. But the idea is that making sure your hands are clean, making sure you're warm, that your breasts are getting as much blood as they can. Again, making sure that you're well hydrated, you've had something to eat. All those things will really help. And also making sure that you're relaxed. And then you want to, with a C shape, milk from the top of the breast through to the nipple. And colostrum harvesting kits that are typically given out in hospital come with these tiny syringes. And what you want is to put the syringe at the tip of the nipple and collect the milk drop by drop, because you're not expecting massive squirts of milk, but drops of milk that you can put into the syringe. And then the syringe will go into your freezer, making sure that you've labeled it with a sticky label, the date that you've collected it, and put your name on it. Because if you need to take it into hospital and use a hospital fridge or freezer, then you know that it's yours. But the idea is that in a Tupperware, clean Tupperware, that you're collecting this colostrum in these tiny syringes. You don't need to transfer them anywhere until you need it. When you do need it, you'll have help from a midwife or a nurse who will help show you how to feed the baby with the colostrum once it's required. So the idea is that you start from 36 weeks. And this is really important. Releasing milk from the breast or massaging the breast will initiate a hormone called oxytocin. And that comes from the brain. It helps the body stimulate the uterus and cause you to have contractions. So now if you're someone at risk of having an early labor, say that you already know that your cervix is short, the placenta is low, the baby is small, or you've had a preterm birth before, then don't do it. Speak to your clinician first and let them assess the risks for you. Because what you don't want to do by starting too early, push yourself into labor. So 36 to 37 weeks for most pregnancies is about the right time to start this. And even if the oxytocin is released, you might get like practice contractions, Braxton Hicks. The idea is that will typically die down. But if it doesn't die down and it persists and it feels like labor, then you need to go and see your doctor. I think it's a really important thing to do. I definitely know that if I was to have another baby, it's something that I would do. I wish I had done it before, because I think it might have just taken stress off the first few days, because now I know I'm someone whose milk came in a bit later and both babies were super hungry and I couldn't feed them as much. So the first one, I required formula maybe for about a week before my milk came in and was established. And for the second one, it was probably 2 feeds with milk that were required before my milk came in. And if I just had that liquid gold to hand, I might have bought myself a bit more time, a lot less stress, a lot less tears, and been able to bridge the gap. But just because I think it would have been useful for me doesn't mean it's useful for everybody. Because like I said, if you have a healthy pregnancy, healthy baby, and baby latches on straight away, you might find that you don't have as much use for the colostrum. And you also don't want it to go to waste. And for someone who's expressed milk over the years, like, it is painful when some of that goes missing. And not to say that even if you've frozen it and you don't need it, like, you still can't use it. Of course you can. But it's way more beneficial for the groups of women that I've mentioned. And those are the groups of women that I want to make sure don't miss out on colostrum harvesting. So if your midwife or your doctor fail to mention it and you feel like you meet those criteria, for sure, get on it and start harvesting that liquid gold. Is it worth the hype? I think the benefits of having that for the baby are immense. Is it worth the hype for adults to put in face creams and things like that? I don't know. For babies, it's definitely beneficial. There's enough evidence to show how great it is for babies, especially to the high-risk groups, but actually all babies. And that's why there was such a push for exclusive breastfeeding. I've already shared my story about the difficulties of breastfeeding, and I want you to go and watch my video on that. Breastfeeding in pain and what that can mean and how that can hamper your journey to breastfeeding. I will link down below. If you're about to have a baby, good luck. If you've just had a baby and you're worried about any symptoms that you might have developed, there's a guide down below that I want you to click on. It's the red flags that you need to know about when your baby is born to make sure that you go back to hospital early and seek help. I'm Remy, I'm a doctor, and I'm on this channel to support you through pregnancy, through postpartum, and into that transition of motherhood. Until my next video.